My field of study is creative writing, but I wanted to pick somebody in the art industry for this assignment. I have always been a writer and written stories or poetry to keep my calm. But over the past year, I have started drawing abstract art and find it also to be very calming. I chose to interview Todd Christensen for this assignment. I have known him my whole life, and he is an amazing artist. He graduated from the University of Arizona in 2004 with his Master's of Fine Art in printmaking. He currently teaches at New Mexico Highlands University in Las Vegas, New Mexico, where he is an assistant professor of art. He teaches various subjects including drawing, painting, printmaking, mixed media, book arts, and introduction to art, among other courses. I found an interesting similarity in Todd's art and in my writing. He says that his work is autobiographical in nature and deals with his view on the events that have happened within his own life, much like my writing is mostly autobiographical and about big events in my life. This is the reason I chose to interview somebody outside of my chosen industry. In my opinion, his profession is much like the one that I have chosen for myself. He follows his passion every single day by teaching art to others. I hope to inspire writers to never give up on their passions when they read my work. I think that art and writing are both forms of personal knowledge and expression. Todd has been making art since childhood and has always been influenced by his father, who is incredibly talented and creative even though he has himself had no formal art training. The first question in my interview was, what do you see as the role of the visual arts in our mass-mediated world, and particularly in your profession? Todd's answer was, one of the main roles of the visual arts is solidly based in communication. Art can communicate about every aspect of life. It can communicate about history, politics, beauty, ideas and philosophies, feelings, and so on. In my profession as a professor, visual arts are a way of teaching my students, a way for them to communicate their ideas, a way for me to communicate my own feelings and thoughts. The second question I asked was, with new communications and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available. Do you believe that this has a positive or negative influence on the industry? And provide an example. Todd said, it can have both positive and negative outcomes. An example of negative use is the easiness for cheating, plagiarizing another person's art, infringing on copyright, and so on. If a person can gain access to thousands of images without any form of control or usage, they may feel more inclined to steal imagery. However, the same access to imagery and stealing or borrowing imagery within the framework of not infringing on copyright is evident everywhere in postmodern art. The ability to borrow and be influenced by images and ideas from other parts of the world, other cultures, societies, religions, and time periods is having a huge impact on contemporary art. It is broadening our knowledge and our own individual visual language. This can be seen as a positive aspect. Next question. What popular images are frequently rechanneled throughout the entertainment industry? Todd said images of political figures and celebrities are frequently rechanneled. A great example of this is the creation of the Obama Hope poster by Shepard Fairey, stolen from an Associated Press photograph. This image was huge in the 2008 election, and the original is now owned by the National Portrait Gallery. The image has been frequently used, reused, manipulated, spoofed, and adapted, and has appeared in movies, cartoons, and other forms of media. The style has been used to show images of other political figures as well. Next question was, are there particular images that this industry has popularized and or created? Todd's answer was, cartoon and movie images are a good example of this. Many of these images become recognizable icons worldwide. Images like Mickey Mouse, The Simpsons, Star Wars figures, and SpongeBob, to name a few. These images become part of our daily lives and are also adapted and used by fine artists, graphic designers, street artists, and other visual and performing artists. Next question was, who is one of your favorite visual artists and or what is your favorite style of visual art? Please forgive me if I read Todd's answers wrong. Some of my favorite artists are Gustav Klimt and Egon Schiele. I almost wrote a big long list as it is so difficult to pick favorites and I am always adding artists to my list. As far as art styles go, it is the same. There are too many to pick favorites. Some of my favorites are Art Nouveau, Modernism, Post-Impressionism, the Novice Nordic landscape painters, the group of 7 graffiti and street art, contemporary lowbrow, and contemporary realism. I could list more, as I said it is difficult. My list of favorite artists really has at least 20 plus artists. The last question was, has knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process? Todd said absolutely, but so has knowledge of non-famous artwork, outsider art, children's art, and the visual world in general. I feel as influenced by television and the internet as I do by a Gauguin painting. It is impossible not to be influenced by visual media. I'm influenced by the entire history of art. I can find inspiration in a Roman decorative object and a 1980s hairband at the same time as I am influenced by the beginnings of abstraction and modernism. It is amazing to have so much visual imagery available to study, research, and be influenced by. Well said. Thank you, Todd.